This luminous and radiant skin is within your reach if you commit to it. Improving the appearance of your skin is something we all aspire to, both men and women. Radiant and even skin is attractive, but also, as you know, it says a lot about your health. The problem is that it seems like we have to spend thousands of euros on products and follow 12-step routines that nobody sticks to, myself included. The reality is that glow skin, glass skin, or crystal effect skin that everyone wants actually requires building solid habits and making a very smart but minimalist selection of cosmetics. I'm Dr. Borja Bandera, and in today's video I'm going to teach you step by step how to achieve it, starting with the habits you should include and eliminate, and finishing with something you've asked me for a whole lot. What products should I apply to my skin to make it look its best? Well, the day has come to reveal that information to you. I'll share my experience with you and talk about 4 products I've been using. Let's get started. First, you need to understand what characterizes glowing skin. The term glow skin or glass skin comes from South Korea. It's not a scientific term. And what it defines is skin so smooth and even that it takes on a translucent and reflective appearance, resembling the surface of glass. Skin without visible texture, skin without enlarged pores, and with a completely even tone. Literally like flawless glass, if that's even possible. And no, it's not always Photoshop or beauty filters when you see skin like that. Of course, many times it is. So, what does your skin need to look like that? Well, your skin needs to meet at least 4 requirements to get close to that appearance. The first is good light reflectance. The stratum corneum of the epidermis, the outermost layer, when it's perfectly smooth and exfoliated, makes light bounce off evenly, creating that natural glow, even just after cleansing the skin and without applying any product. However, when we have an excess buildup of dead skin cells, they scatter the light and create a dull or sallow tone. The second point would be high water turgor. A hydrated dermis, thanks largely to hyaluronic acid, pushes the upper layers outward, erasing the shadows of fine lines that make the skin tone look dull again. For this, an intact barrier function is also required to prevent water loss through the epidermis. Third, optimal microcirculation. Good blood flow, but not excessive blood flow. This gives a rosy, youthful, very attractive tone, keeping you away from a sallow or grayish color. And finally, reduce unconscious muscle contraction, which promotes the appearance of expression lines and fine wrinkles that interfere with an even tone. But there are 3 enemies of this glass skin that you have to avoid at all costs. What are they? Look, if you want to have any chance for your skin to look like this, protecting the collagen matrix and preserving hyaluronic acid is your #1 goal. The 3 main destroyers of collagen, and therefore of the skin's radiance, are ultraviolet radiation, especially type A, which is responsible for 80% of the signs of aging. Second, yes, smoking. The compounds inhaled in tobacco and also in vapor directly degrade existing collagen. If you smoke, it's almost impossible to have glass skin, so stop watching the video. And third, chronic elevation of cortisol affects the integrity of skin collagen. This is the hardest one to avoid in our context, but it's possible. Of everything in today's video, what's next is definitely the most important. Habits to include. There are people you know who, without using any dermocosmetics, have visibly beautiful skin, and how do they achieve it? With good habits. It's the typical example of the young athletic guy who washes his face with water, doesn't use any products, and still has skin that stands out from the average. What does he do besides being young? The following enough minutes of deep sleep. The skin, like the rest of the organs, regenerates during deep sleep. During this period, the growth hormone, stimulates collagen synthesis, repairs the DNA of the cells, and the skin barrier function is restored, which is very important for its health and function. Remember that not only is the number of hours you sleep important, but also having a stable circadian rhythm, meaning going to bed and waking up at about the same time. And you might ask, Borja, how many minutes of deep sleep are enough? Well, between 60 and 100 for most people, but there are some who are getting less than 40 minutes of deep sleep each night. Let's continue with proper hydration. There are some nuances here, because more is not always better. Even mild dehydration does reduce elasticity and firmness, increasing the appearance of fine lines. But drinking 4 liters a day doesn't improve anything. 30 to 35 milliliters of liquid per kilogram per day is more than enough, adjusted, of course, for physical activity and climate. If you do saunas for half an hour every day, you'll have to drink more, for example. Low and stable glycemic load. One of the goals is to reduce advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. Basically, when our blood sugar is very high, it sticks to collagen and activates it. For this, you need to limit two things in your diet: glycemic variability and glycemic load. That is, prioritize complex carbohydrates that are rich in fiber and eliminate large glycemic swings. In other words, achieve stable glucose levels and don't consume too many free sugars. Keep them below 10% of your total kilocalories, please. Let's continue with strict sun protection. This, along with quitting smoking, are non-negotiable. 80% of visible aging is photoaging. And it's not just collagen loss, but also the appearance of spots and loss of skin transparency, all of which, as you've seen, go against achieving glass skin. It doesn't mean you have to be slathered in cream all year round, but keep it very much in mind. Hybrid training, strength and cardio. Skincare also happens at the gym. The skin always reflects metabolic health, and strength training improves blood flow to the skin, reduces inflammation, and generates myokines that are beneficial for the skin. And it increases insulin sensitivity, key micronutrients. Remember that to produce collagen, you need enough protein. 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram per day in adults is enough. Vitamin C, but also zinc, copper, or iron. Subclinical deficiencies worsen skin texture. A balanced skin microbiome, excessive use of harsh soaps, hydroalcoholic gels, showering 3 times a day, and excessive exfoliation damage the skin microbiome. They inflame your skin and ruin all your efforts to achieve that glass skin effect and, of course, a healthy body composition. An excess of visceral fat increases oxidative stress, collagen glycation, and systemic inflammation. You don't need to have 10% body fat and be super ripped, but you do need to be metabolically healthy. Now let's take a look at those winning products. Do I use products to improve my skin health? Well, look, like most men, until very recently, I wasn't even familiar with or interested in dermocosmetics. I only used sunscreen when I spent a lot of time in the sun. But the reality is that time goes by. I'm not 20 years old anymore, and skin is just another organ to optimize to live longer and better. So, why not optimize it? As you know, there are hundreds of options on the market, each with its own promises, and it's easy to get confused, especially if you don't know much about this field. In my case, I prefer products with validated active ingredients in useful concentrations and always using the same ones. And yes, I choose good products because anything else is a waste of time and money for me. Which products have I chosen? The first would be a product that brightens your skin and protects the barrier function. The chosen one is the new Skin Renewing Vitamin C Serum from CeraVe. It provides 10% pure vitamin C to brighten and 3 ceramides identical to those in the skin to repair the skin barrier. The next one would be a product that gives you the famous immediate glass skin effect. And I choose the Peptiox Serum from SkinCeuticals, which includes Botox-like peptides that correct up to 9 types of expression wrinkles and works synergistically with botulinum toxin if you're already using it. It stimulates collagen production and improves skin texture. Next, we continue with a product that repairs, plumps, and gives your skin an urgent boost. Very important. Without a doubt, I choose the Yale V5 Suractivated Serum from La Roche-Posay. Thanks to the hyaluronic acid, the plumping effect is very fast. You can notice it in just 1 week. And finally, a product that boosts your own collagen and provides photoprotection, working in synergy with your habits. And here the absolute winner is the Lift Active Collagen Specialist 16-Day Cream from Vichy Laboratories. This marvel boosts all the collagen families in your skin and provides the all-important sun protection factor 50, helping you preserve that collagen. And now, let's move on to the practical part. Because of course, if you're like me, integrating all this into a simple routine that doesn't take more than 2 minutes a day and that you can stick to is quite an odyssey. Adherence is the Achilles heel of men's dermatology. That's why I'm giving you a very simple guide here, divided into morning and night. Because you can't use the same products in the morning and at night. In the morning, the main goal is to protect and hydrate your skin since you'll face pollution, sun, and stress. Step number 1 would be a gentle cleansing. Use a non-irritating cleanser with a physiological pH and no harsh detergents. This removes sweat, pollutants, and sebum without damaging the skin barrier or the microbiome. The next step would be antioxidant defense. It's a good time to use the CeraVe Vitamin C Serum. Apply it and brush your teeth while your skin absorbs it. The third step would be hydration and collagen protection with sun protection factor 50 here, the collagen specialist from Vichy. You apply it and get dressed while it absorbs, and that's your morning routine done. Pretty easy, right? What do we do at night? At night, the goal is to repair your skin. The first step is cleansing. Cleansing. Cleanse with a soap without DET to remove the sunscreen from the day and also the pollutants. And now, in the next step, we're going to apply what's called skin cycling. Skin cycling is a concept that tells us that since both retinol and Petiox are chemical exfoliants and can irritate the skin, an interesting strategy would be to alternate them, not apply them every day. That is, there would be a step 2A on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, which would be that transformation provided by your trusted retinol. I recommend you watch this video first. To avoid irritation and excessive peeling, I repeat, we will only use it on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and on alternate days, step 2B. Here, we could perfectly use Petiox from SkinCeuticals. By using it at night, you take advantage of facial relaxation to improve skin texture. In this case, we will use it on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. On Sunday, we'll let the skin rest. The third step would be the filler. And here, of course, the YLV5 serum. To fill your dermis, making sure you wake up with that glass skin. We finish after this serum with a basic moisturizer to seal in the serum and prevent transepidermal water loss at night. Let me ask you, which moisturizer do you use the most? I'll read your answers in the comments. This is an advanced routine that, along with good habits, will help you achieve that striking skin tone you're looking for. Let me know if you have questions, your thoughts on the video, or if you use any of these products. See you in the next video. Big hug. Keep empowering yourself.